Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I got a text message yesterday, and when I tell you, I have made comments before about how things just work out when you're trying to manifest your desires. There are so many things on the internet right now that tell you you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do the other thing. Before all of that stuff started hitting the internet, we were already manifesting what we were supposed to have, because your exterior is a reflection of your interior. And whether you can it doesn't matter whether you can wrap your brain around that concept or not. It really doesn't. It really doesn't matter what you do. You can't do anything to make your dream happen. What you can do is eliminate the limiting beliefs. And I'm going to read you a text message that because the agent that sold my last house when I bought this one reached out to me yesterday. And I've told this story before. When I put that house on the market, I told her, it's a long story, but I'm going to shorten it to the pertinent stuff that I want to get through to you today. When I was ready to sell my house, my job had ended where I was, so I knew I needed to shift. The company was going to put me somewhere else. I didn't know where. And I told my agent, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to the mountains because I want a view of the mountains. I knew exactly what I wanted. There were four specific things that the next house had to have, or it wasn't my house. But I just knew. When she listed my house, my last house, it sold that day for full price. Full price. No dickering, no anything. It was, I want your house. I'll pay everything. Okay. Now I don't have a house, right? Because I hadn't found this one yet. And she kept asking me, she's like, Pam, I have all these houses. Why don't you just take this one? Why don't you just, aren't you worried? I was like, no, I'm not worried. And my two statements, I think two, hang on, let's count them together. One statement was, God has never let me down. He's not going to let me down now. Two was, why am I going to worry? Worry has never done anything. Worry never does anything other than stress you out. And three was, I just knew that everything was going to fall into place perfectly. And again, her and my agent, well, I guess the agent here I only worked with to buy this house, and she was amazing. But anyway, so the agent that sold my last house reached out to me yesterday. Now it's been 5 years. 5 years, almost to the day that I bought this house. And she just said, hey, how's everything going? Are you still in Appomattox? And I told her, I said, yeah. And her text message back to me, and I've said this, but people look at me like, you're making it up. It's not that, it doesn't work that way. You're crazy, whatever. I'm going to read you what she posted, what she texted to me to tell you It really is that way. Okay. She said, I often think about the sale of your house. You were so faithful that God would take care of the timing. By all earthly accounts, that situation should not have worked out the way it did. She said, you finding the property that you did with the specific needs you had, alongside selling your house in the time frame you needed to, and both of them lining up so perfectly. She said, and then he pulled through just as you anticipated, i.e. God. She said it was an inspiring faith. When it's meant to be, it will be. There is nothing you can physically do to make it happen. I couldn't make the woman that bought my house buy my house. I couldn't make this house appear until it was ready. And to have it all, like, literally fall into place perfectly, because the woman wanted my house at a certain time. These people wanted to sell it at a certain time, which happened to correlate perfectly. What I sold that last house for completely paid for this house. And this house had everything I wanted. It clicked all the boxes. And, you know, I had agents showing me houses and saying, when you know, you know. And agents do their job. They have this way of trying to pressure you into a sale. And, if you want this house, you need to sign a contract because it's not going to be here long. Every one of them, I said, just stop right there, because I won't be pressured into buying a house. I will know my house when I see it. If this is meant to be my house, it'll be there when I'm ready to buy it. If it's not here when I'm ready to buy it, then it's not my house. There's a better one out there for me. And that is where I stand with everything. Everything. My motorcycle that I just bought, I knew that it would just work out perfectly. And it is actually better than what I thought I was going to get. And I got a trailer. I got the motorcycle and the trailer for like $8,000 less than people were selling motorcycles, much less the trailer. And they didn't have all the stuff on it that my bike has. So when I tell you, your job is to know what you want. That's it. Send it to the universe, and not from ego. Not from ego. I don't care. I told my husband and I have this conversation all the time. Well, not really all the time. But I've told him, I said, I don't care if we've got $50 million. I want what I want. It's not going to change just because I have more money than what I want is going to cost. And I don't know how much. I really honestly have no idea how much my next house is going to cost, because it doesn't matter. The cost is irrelevant. Because I know that however it's meant to be is just going to be. I reached out to the person the house that we kind of have our heart set on, but it's not. I'm not hell-bent that that's got to be the house, because I know it's that or better. We both know that. It's that house or better. I would love that house. I already feel a connection to it, but I'm not tied to it. That's limiting the universe because it's that house or better. And I noticed that it went off the market. And I reached out to the lady because I've already had that personal connection with her. I reached out to her and I said, I see it's off the market. And we had a conversation and she said, yeah, we had an offer Saturday, but we're not accepting it. It's still for sale. And my initial response when I saw that it was off the market was, oh my God. And it was like a heartbreak. And then I thought, you know what? No. Literally, I was like, no, you know what? It's okay. There's a reason it's not on the market right now. And it's all okay. If it's meant to be mine, it'll be there when I'm ready to get it. And I just live in that. And that's all you need to do. When the fact that it has not happened yet, there's a reason. And you just have to be okay with that. Yeah, is it hard? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes when my husband and I just need space to get away from each other for a bit, yes, being in the other house would be perfect. But it's not, but you know what? The universe has a way of working that out too. I'm not going to give you personal details, but I'm telling you, the universe has a way of working everything out. When you trust it and you just go with it and you trust the process, you can't make it up. And again, all these things, yes, and because I will tell you, I have done all the stuff to try to manifest whatever. All you're doing, and God bless these people that are trying to tell you how to manifest and all that kind of stuff. God bless them. All you're doing is going into a vibration of, I don't have this. I want this. I need this. Where is it? So therefore, you're sending that lack to the universe. You're saying, I don't trust you. I have to do this. You're not a human doing. You're a human being. Just be. And I just, another divine message. Because it is exactly what I said yesterday. Everything just is, and just be. That doesn't mean sit on the couch and eat bonbons. I'm not just sitting here in this chair thinking that, it's just going to drop in from the heavens. It will. But there are things I need to do. There is divine guidance. When you feel led to do something, go do that thing. Whatever it is. It might not make sense to you at the time, but just go do it. It's like when I found this house. How the search that I was doing was so broad. I mean, it wasn't a particular state. And again, it's not a particular state. I'm looking in like 5 different states. But I know where I'm meant to be, it will just happen. It might not be a state I'm even looking in, but I know what I want. I know what we know what we want. And it could be in BFE somewhere. I don't even know where that is, but it will show up just like this house did. I didn't even know where this town was. I didn't even know what this town was. I just drew a circle on the map and said, okay, let me look. And this house popped up. And it had been on the market 6 days. And I said, let me go look at it. And when I got here, I knew this was my house. I made an offer. They accepted it. And in like 30 days, I think, it was a done deal. So the next one will be exactly the same way. Just live in the moment. Don't stress over it. I could have sat and the thing is, I didn't stress over not having my job figured out and not having my next house figured out, because I just knew it was my first house would not have sold if there wasn't another one lined up for me. Because the universe is not going to leave you homeless. And I told my agent, I said, it might be the 9th hour that my next house comes into play, but I just know it's going to work out perfectly. I just knew it. And it did. I knew everything I've ever gotten. You know, even my husband is looking at all this stuff that's going on with cars now, the newer cars and all the crap. It's like they're making cars disposable, just like they made printers disposable. It's like it's cheaper to buy a brand new printer than it is to buy the damn ink or toner or whatever to go in it. The crap that's going into these brand new cars, it's crazy how much it costs to fix it. And it's like, and so when my car bit the dust and the transmission just died, it was a perfect timing because it didn't happen when we were traveling. It happened to the mechanic within walking distance, pushing distance of his shop. My car died. My husband and I went and looked for another car and found exactly what we wanted. And yes, it has, I'll say it's got some bells and whistles, but it was before all this nonsense started happening of, oh my God, if this goes out, you have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to fix it. The universe is always looking out for your best interest. When you come from a place of, you trust the process. Where we fall short as humans is you let your ego get in the way. You let limiting beliefs get in your way. You let people talk you out of what you really truly want. I mean, my friend this morning, I love her more than I can tell you. She made a comment, and it could possibly be, it's probably the universe testing me. And I'll go with that. Because she said, well, if you two just need space, why don't you just buy a little bit bigger house for now, and then you get your dream house? No. That's settling. My next house is not out of ego. It's out of what, I don't want to say what we need, but it's what we want to fulfill our needs, our wants, our desires, but not from ego. You know, we want a bigger house so we have space to get away from each other when we want to get away from each other. So I have a place I can do my videos, and I don't have to say, I'm doing a video, get out. And we have bedrooms, so when company comes to visit, they don't have to sleep on an air mattress in my living room. And there are other things we want also, but don't settle. That's the other thing. It's not, oh, okay, well, I really want this, but I'll settle for this. No. If you want this job, and if it's meant to be that job, you'll get that job. You can't perfect your interview skills. You can't perfect your resume. You can't perfect anything enough that if it's not meant to be, it's going to be. You can't make it happen. If it's meant to be your job, it will be your job. I don't care how bad you screw it up. If that person is meant to, when I met my last husband, he was married. And when I saw him, I was like, oh my God, I want that. And then I saw the wedding ring and I was like, all right, well, so much for that. And I backed off and I was like, you know what? If it's meant to be, it'll be. And everything just started falling into place. And we ended up getting married. This husband, how it happened was so divinely orchestrated. I couldn't have made it happen. Everything just fell into place and it was like, here we go. In 6 weeks, we were married. But it took me 4 years to find him. No, let me retract that. Because that makes it sound like I was trying for a long time. And again, you can't make it happen until it's ready to happen. When I let go, and because he wasn't ready either. Well, he wasn't ready until right before we met. And honestly, I was ready, but I wasn't ready because I needed growing to do. I needed to find out who I was and let go of things that I was holding on to and become a better version of me. So it happened perfectly. Just because it didn't happen 4 years prior doesn't mean I was messing anything up. Just because we've been looking for our next house for a year and it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it's not meant to be. It will be exactly when it's meant to be. And I just know that. Meanwhile, I'm perfectly happy here. I don't live in misery. My horse is in my front yard at the moment eating grass. She's fine. I'm sitting here doing a video. It's perfect. And thank the Lord, all my animals are quiet at the moment. So stop trying to make things happen. There are no hoops you have to jump through. There are no specific things you have to do other than just know what you want from a place of here. Not here. Not ego. Not, oh, well, I just want a bigger house because Bobby Joe down the street has a bigger house, or I want a bigger truck. I want a bigger, whatever, because somebody else has it, or you got to keep up with the Joneses. No, be you. What do you want? What brings your, when you're looking at it or have the desire, where's it coming from? Does it truly make your heart happy? Or is it just, this is just what I want? If it's not resonating and it is connecting to your heart, because we all have dreams and desires. We all know what we truly want. You wouldn't truly want it if it wasn't meant to be. The universe already has it for you. It's not for you to figure out how to make it happen. It's for you, like I said, to know what you want from a place of divinity, not ego. And follow your intuition. When you feel called, when you feel the urge to go somewhere, and you're like, why am I going? Just go. Call somebody, talk to somebody. You never know where that conversation's going to lead. You never know where that drive. I mean, when my husband and I go out for a bike ride or car ride or whatever, and we just end up on a different road, there's a reason. Our house might be on that road. I don't know. We might run into somebody and talk to them at a store that has the house that that is ours. But don't look for stuff out of desperation. That comes from lack, because you don't have. And when you send out the vibration of I don't have, that's what you're going to get back. Yesterday I talked about energy. You get what you give. If you're giving out anger and stress and chaos, that's what you're getting back, is anger and stress and chaos. When you give out love and peace and contentment and gratitude is huge. When you're grateful for what you have, the universe will reciprocate. And that's just the way it works. But when you're efforting and you're trying to make something happen, you're sending it out to the universe that I don't have it, I want it, from desperation. And they tell you, write down things in the present tense, like, I'm grateful that I have X. Meanwhile, your brain goes into, you don't have this, idiot. What the hell are you talking about? I've been there. Just be. If writing things down works for you, then write things down. But I'm telling you, just have faith that everything's going to work out perfectly. And if it's meant to be, it will be. And be grateful for where you are and what you have right now. You can have the desire to have something else. Like I said, we have the desire to have another house with specific things. Because this one isn't conducive to those things. I can't make it have the things that we want. So, but it doesn't, but I'm not sitting here in, oh God, I hate this house. I can't wait to get out of this house. Like I said, I wanted to share that with you, that text message from my agent, because she went through the process with me. She knew where I stood. She saw my faith. And I can't tell you how many, I worked with 4 agents to find this house. And every one of them, they all went to church. They all believed in God. And every one of them was like, your faith is mind-blowing. It's inspirational. Every one of them. Because and that's not because I'm better than anybody. That's not, oh, hey, good job, Pam. No. It's where lead by example is the only thing that's coming into my head at the moment. I've said this before. I don't just say things to blow sunshine up your skirt. I don't just say things just to say them. I live them. I speak from experience. I tell you what works. And if it works for me, it will work for you. I'm no different. I've just let go of limiting beliefs. I didn't have limiting beliefs. As soon as I started efforting and trying to do all this manifestation bullshit, things started stopping because I was getting in my own way. I was trying to do the job of the universe. And they're like, all right, here you go, Miss Smarty Britches. You take the wheel. See how that works out for you. And they just sit back and they're like, okay. And they're patient. They're a hell of a lot more patient than we are. They're just sitting back, watching until you are ready to surrender to the process and say, you know what? I give up. Here. You take the wheel back. Jesus, take the wheel. Yeah. And when you surrender and you just trust the process and trust your intuition and follow those divine nudges that you get, the universe will they will blow your brain every time. Every time. So anyway, I hope this helps. Just be. Don't do. Yes, go do you know what I mean. Don't sit on the couch and expect things to just show up. If I just sat on the couch, I wouldn't have found my husband. If I just sat on the couch, I wouldn't have found this house. Sitting on the couch, I'm not going to find my next one. I have to look. Yes, I sit here and I search. But you know what? Who says it's on the internet? Don't get stuck in, oh, it's got to be this way. Know what you want, but also know that it could be that or better. So I send you love. If this helps you, if it resonates with you, if you got anything out of it, click the like button. Share it for somebody else because somebody else needs to hear this message. Subscribe to my channel because this journey is it's always been amazing for me. It's getting even more amazing. As every day passes, it gets more amazing. If you need help, I have 2 books. One is Liberating Your Consciousness. That one's free. I will leave that link below. And Cultivating Peace and Purpose. That will help you expand your mindset, see things from a different viewpoint, and help you understand the way things work. I will leave the link for that one below too. They will both help you. Because I want you to have whatever your heart desires. So does the universe. What is standing in your way? You are the only thing standing in your way. And I know people, you hear that and they're like, how am I standing in my way? And then you go into defeat, and then you go into, what the hell am I screwing up? I'm telling you what you're screwing up. I'm telling you how you're in your way. So if you have questions, reach out to me. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help guide you through this process. So I send you love and many, many blessings, and we will talk soon.